All right. Hey, Shomajit. Hey, Sharath. Can you guys hear me okay? Or things are not working good technically? Is my sound okay, guys? Oh, thanks, Abhishek. Thanks, Sharath. All right. I see some people are joining in. So, all right. So, what we thought we will do today is talk about how to switch career to cloud, right? So, yeah. So, this is like a live question and answer session. And you fire away your questions in the chat. Geeky Tech, thank you. Good morning to you as well. Sharath, thank you again. Sharath, big fan, thank you. Thank you for watching. I'm glad you find my videos helpful. Okay. So I'm doing this live thing for the first time. So let me know if the sound or something is not working or something is out of the whack. I'll try to change it. So, all right. So any of you have any questions about how to switch career to cloud or something, or give me a little bit of overview like, hey, Raj, I am this network engineer. I'm working on this thing. How can I switch to cloud and stuff? Let me know and I'll try to give you some guidance. Ankush, I cleared my DevOps Pro today. Nice. Congratulations, man. Amazing. Um, how was the experience for the online exam? When I gave my exam, it was all in the center, but now I know it's all online. Is it like nice, easy, or it's like tough? Okay, so I see some questions coming in. Sharath said, please tell how experienced person can switch to DevOps on cloud. I have 10 years of experience. Okay, so this is like a super common question. So I assume, are you in like a coding background? Are you like project manager? Like what kind of background do you have? Um, so the best thing to do is start looking at your own company. Like if you can switch career in your own company to cloud, that's much easier because you know people. So that's the switching to the company part. But then also you got to prepare. So I have a couple of things that I have shared. What do you need to prepare for DevOps, for solutions architect? So you gotta follow that, right? So I'm not sure if you watched that video, but I want to share my screen real quick and we'll go over a couple of things, okay? And you can take a look. Let me see. Hope this works. Display capture. All right, so hopefully you guys can see my slides. I'm just gonna check if you guys can see my slide. Let's see. Give me 1 second. The streaming thing is a little weird. Okay. Network security. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Okay, cool. So this is the skill tree for DevOps. Sharath, so for DevOps, you need to know infrastructure as code, either CloudFormation or Terraform. You need to know Git commands, like the basic commands. You don't need to go super deep, but at least the basic stuff. And then you need to know at least one DevOps tool. So either Jenkins, GitLab, or cloud specific. And then highly recommended is DevOps pipeline, relevant technology, virtual machine, or container. You don't need to do serverless at this point. Container is super hot right now, and one of the cloud certification. And once you do this, you should be in a great spot. And if you are switching within company, like if you can find out which teams in your company are hiring for cloud, that will be much easier to switch than externally. Okay, so Amit said, sir, please talk about how to enter in cloud as fresher. So yeah, actually entering as fresher is easier than entering as experienced, right? Because when you're experienced, you have salary expectations, you are already set somewhere. So as a fresher, what I would ask you is, in your college, if you did some coding, if you learned Java or you learned C, C++, something like that, or Python, right? So take the Developer Associate exam. So AWS has the Developer Associate certification exam. So do that, and then you can actually start applying. You should be able to get a job as a cloud developer. If you want to do DevOps, then you need to learn one of the DevOps tool like I'm showing. But you don't need to be super expert in all the system designs, because no one expects you to be expert when you are joining as a fresher, right? So no one's gonna ask you deep system design questions. So those are my recommendations. Also, another great thing that I did when I was looking for jobs was, I'm gonna share it here. So I was actually going to LinkedIn. I'll go to job, right? And here I'll search, let's say, cloud developer, okay? And then I'll just look in my area, like put your area where you want to get a job in, and I'll just go through the requirements a little bit, right? And try to prepare accordingly. So you can see for cloud developer, what are the minimum skills. And you don't need to know everything. It's very uncommon that you will know everything. No one does. But as long as you know like 60 to 70% of what they're asking, like databases, super important, right? But if you are a fresher, at least you study a little bit about databases, right? But you don't need to know like all that OpenStack, Docker. You don't need to know all that, everything if you are a fresher. Okay, so going back to the chat, let's see. Okay, so it's quite good. I'm graduate from college. Okay, Ankush said the DevOps Pro exam was convenient. Sharat said no coding. So if you have no coding, then you have to think whether you want to become like a project manager, product manager, because it's very difficult to become an architect straight away from the college. Because for those of you who are already working full-time in the chat, even though you are not in the cloud, you are gathering experience, right? If you are working in a legacy technology, let's say Java or Oracle or even mainframe, you at least know how big distributed systems work, how APIs work, what is a SQL database, all that stuff. So it's easier to become a solutions architect. But if you try to become a solutions architect from freshers, then it's very, very difficult. Okay, Geeky Tech, I cleared my CKA. Congratulations. Few weeks ago. Thanks, man, for your videos. Also, as I'm a DevOps engineer, is it good idea to join AWS Premium support for DevOps, and what will be my future? That's totally up to you, right? So premium support will be like you will be solving problem, like for DevOps. If that's something you enjoy, like some people like to solve issues, like let's say there's a DevOps pipeline running and some part of the pipeline broke, right? And so you will be in charge of going, taking a look and fixing it. And some people love it, right? So if you like it, yeah, man, that's like a really good position to be in. How to upgrade from DevOps to solutions architect? Okay, that's a good question. All right, so let me open this up. So one thing that folks miss a lot is, for solutions architect, the must-have thing is you need to have a good presentation skill, right? So I talked a little bit about mine. Sorry, took a sip on the coffee. Still morning in the East Coast in America, so still waking up. So for solutions architect, yes, you need to know architecture, system design, all that stuff that you know. But you also need to have a really good presentation skills, because the job of a solutions architect will be to talking with large groups of people or a large team and going over your design. Unless you can explain your design pros, cons, 5 pillars of AWS architectures or cloud architectures, it will be very difficult for you. But if you already have the DevOps background, so DevOps engineer or DevOps architect is not much reliant on presentation skill, because if you are a specialized architect, let's say DevOps, the expectation is you know one of the DevOps tool inside out, you know infrastructure as code, all that stuff. So it's more on the hands-on stuff, right? But with solutions architect generally, so if you need a little bit of like the system design and the presentation skill. So for switching from DevOps to solutions architect, you can build on that muscle, like practice, presenting, whiteboard, right? I have a couple of whiteboarding videos. I used to struggle whiteboarding a lot, but now I started practicing on my own whiteboard. So do that, and then you will be able to switch. But I would ask you, why do you want to switch from DevOps to solutions architect, right? In cloud, DevOps jobs are super booming right now, like pretty good salary, a lot of jobs. So think through it, like if you really want to become a solutions architect. Okay, so network security. As of now, okay, network security. Okay, network security. Actually, network I get this question too, like, hey Raj, I am from networking background. How am I gonna switch to cloud? Cloud actually requires a lot of networking knowledge because most of the companies start with hybrid cloud. So for those of you who don't know what hybrid cloud is, so it's basically you will have your database or some software in the data center, and you need to connect it from the cloud. That's how most companies start. Um, so for network engineer, it will be the responsibility to create the direct connect, VPN, the firewall, all that stuff. So that's not just cloud stuff, right? It's a lot of how do you connect your on-prem to your cloud. So take a look at the network cloud jobs in LinkedIn, and there you can see the requirements. But I worked in big enterprises, and it's a pretty niche area because not many people know about networking. Um, okay, Ibrahim, hello. What's your advice for non-development experience to get into cloud DevOps? So yeah, so when we say non-development, that is fine if you don't have any development experience on Java, C, C++, right? Because DevOps don't need you to become like a developer. What you do need to learn is at least one infrastructure as code. So you need to learn either CloudFormation or Terraform and one of the DevOps tools, right? And get a cloud certificate. And like I always say, put your stuff on the LinkedIn and GitHub, right? Like let's say you learn in CloudFormation and you learned how to spin up something, right? A EC2 or something. Put that in the GitHub, because the first step of getting a job is actually getting called by the recruiter, right? So I always tell my students that there are three different components of switching to cloud and DevOps. One is you need to get called by the recruiter, like you need to get noticed by the recruiter. Number two, you need to pass the interview. And number three is the actual job. So you guys are hardworking guys and girls, right? So the hardest thing is actually get noticed by the recruiter and go through the interview. Because I'm pretty confident once you get into the job, they will give you some time to study and then you can ramp up. So learn one infrastructure as code, learn DevOps, do a certification, put your stuff on GitHub and LinkedIn. And I also have a video on how to spruce up your LinkedIn profile. And then you should see a lot of interview opportunities. Okay. Tushar, sir, I am 13 years experience in development, design, and Scrum Master. I want to enter cloud and DevOps. Tushar, you are already like a rock star, right? 13-year experience, you know development, you know design, you know Scrum Master. Like, just get a cloud cert. Get like you can get a sysadmin associate, or you can get a DevOps Pro, right? If you want to go into DevOps. If you want to go to Solutions Architect, get the Solutions Architect Associate, or if you are confident after studying, get the Solutions Architect Professional. And you should be all set because you should have not much difficulty. And like I was saying before, it's always easier to switch to cloud and DevOps jobs in your existing company. That's how I did it, right? So reach out to those folks, build some relationship, because once you are ready, then you are ready to go do interview. But for your experience, 13 years, development experience, design experience, you should not have a problem getting a job outside as well. Okay, Ankush, I have 15 years experience and I have a Kubernetes certification, AWS Solutions Architect Associate, Data and Analytics and DevOps Pro certs with Terraform. Ankush, you know more than me, man. I don't have all these certifications. I want to be technical project manager or product manager who can effectively manage DevOps and cloud projects. Yeah, this is a good viable path as well. So basically, you have some technical expertise, but you want to switch a little to managerial because you see yourself growing as like a manager, director, eventually in the future, right? So yeah, so look at LinkedIn. You should be able to get a product manager job because you already have a Scrum Master experience and cloud experience. So the responsibility of a product manager of a cloud will be such like you have to say you have to move a project from on-prem to cloud, and you will be determining what will be the sprint. Let's say in 2 weeks there should be a proof of concept for database, and you have to know what databases they're choosing so that you can drive a little bit, right? Like if they say they're moving from relational to non-relational, so you know it's going to take a longer time. If they're moving from on-prem Oracle to Aurora RDS, then you know it's going to still a little bit of effort, but not as much as moving from Oracle to DynamoDB, right? So yeah, take a look at those jobs in LinkedIn, and then you should have most of the requirements met, and you should be good to go, man. 15 years experience with all this stuff, you are golden already. Sapan Shoren, okay. Hey Shapan, what did you ask? I'm a Java Angular developer. Need heads up regarding Artifactory, Frog, any. How important is this? It is quite important, right? So because for cloud development, most of the cloud development happens in a DevOps fashion. No one does your traditional once a month or once in 3 months kind of release anymore, right? So how that works is on the DevOps pipeline, on the continuous integration phase, once you check in the code, it goes to the Artifactory, right? So from that Artifactory, then it gets deployed. So that's the bad news, that you do have to learn at least one Artifactory. But the good news is, if you already know Java development, Artifactory is the easy part, right? And once you learn it for one, that's it. You are covered for all the Artifactories. You don't need to go switching from Artifactory to Artifactory. And also, like once you start doing Kubernetes or Docker, I mean, everything goes in a Docker registry, right? Either you are using Docker Hub or you are using ECR or Google's repository, right? So that's like you learn once and you keep using it. Okay. Python versus Golang for DevOps, which is better? Shubham, this is a difficult question, my man. So both works. I personally like Python because I did a little bit of data analytics and machine learning. So I am a little biased towards Python. So Python is like the number one most popular language right now. But Golang also has advantages because it's fast like Python. But if I were you, I would lean towards Python still. The market hasn't shifted to Golang fully for DevOps. So there are a lot of libraries out and a lot of samples and examples in Stack Overflow for Python, not as many for Golang. So hopefully that answers your question. Shubham, you think, okay, thinking of Shubham. No, okay. Shubham said he is using Python right now, thinking if he should invest time in Golang. No need, Shubham. Like I said, Python has more examples in Stack Overflow, more sample programs. The Boto 3, the AWS library to communicate with AWS services, the Boto 3 is fully fleshed out. Golang, you still need to find examples and stuff. Okay. Bhavani Shankar SD. I am system administrator and have 5 years experience. Can I learn DevOps? Where can I start DevOps learning? Yeah, man. Anyone can learn anything. That's the beauty of IT, right? So we are not like doctors, right? You know, doctors' life could be a little boring. Like you learn one thing and then you just do the same thing for 30 years of your practice. They make probably more money. But the beauty of IT is you can switch stuff, right? You can learn anything you want and then you can switch. So yeah, you can learn DevOps if you are just learning DevOps by itself, like maybe searching Udemy and stuff, but if you are looking to learn infrastructure as code, and then infrastructure as code with DevOps, take a look at Udemy. I have a couple courses there. But even if you don't get my courses, that's fine too. But that's where I learned from. Amio, man, Witcher man. This Amio guy plays Witcher and he knows about all the Witcher stuff. Thank you for joining the stream, Amio. Shell Atomic. I am back. Hello guys and girls, I am back with another video, but this time this is live. Okay, it's Roger. Okay. Let's see. Shubham, please do a video on what kind of project can we make to show an interview. Shubham, man, I did this, okay? So I did this in the last video. Please take a look. The thumbnail is no DevOps experience, but to get a DevOps job. So I talk about proof of concepts that I did and like what I put on the GitHub, LinkedIn, all that stuff. So please take a look on that. Okay, DevOps, okay. Dead can dance. Okay, Dead can dance. Okay, I have been DevOps for 5 years. Man, you have more DevOps experience than average folks. Have a great opportunity to move to SRE at VMware, but it requires being on call every other week. Daytime hours 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm worried about work-life balance. Advice. Man, so which company are you in now? Like VMware is a really good company. So this is what I would suggest. Like if VMware, I don't know if you're working already in like Microsoft, Google, or wherever, but if you are a non-FANG company and then you are getting a job at VMware, I will take this job, right? I will take this job and get the experience. Because remember, you don't need to be in VMware for years and years. You can even switch position inside VMware, right? You go into the sysadmin job and you do it for a little bit and then see how bad it is, the nighttime support and stuff. And then you have two options. One, at this point, inside VMware, you can switch, right, after some time. Number two, you have VMware experience now, right, which is like super priceless, right? And then you get another job somewhere else, right, with that VMware experience, and that would give you salary bump, experience bump, everything. Okay, Sharath, I see everywhere it's mentioned cloud and DevOps. Does that mean DevOps and cloud or DevOps and cloud infra combination? Little confused on this. That's a good question actually. No, it does not mean just DevOps on cloud. So what DevOps means is DevOps is a methodology, right? So DevOps started way before cloud. Like even if you are running your project on-prem, you should learn it in a DevOps manner. So DevOps only shows you how to automate your build and deploy. So even if you're deploying a monolith, right, it can be done DevOps. So when we say DevOps, we mean how can you automate from checking your code to deploying in production, right? That's it. We don't say, okay, do it for cloud, do it for on-prem. However, since all the projects are being developed and deployed in cloud right now, that's why DevOps on cloud is super hot subject. And in the beginning, there was only couple DevOps tool like Jenkins, right, which you use to deploy into on-prem. And then it became, you can deploy in cloud. But since DevOps on cloud became super popular, all the cloud providers also started creating DevOps services, like AWS has Code Pipeline, Code Build, Azure has Azure DevOps, like that. So hopefully that answered your question, Sharath. Let me know in the chat. Okay, Muna Gazmi, which cloud certificate? AWS CISOP. So Muna, if you are going for DevOps, then yes, start with CISOPS Admin Associate, and then you can do DevOps Pro. But yeah, that's for the DevOps path. Amio, how to start with Cloud Dev and DevOps profile. So yeah, I covered this extensively in the last video. So you need to do hands-on stuff as well as certification. So take a look at the last video, Amio, and let me know if you have further questions. Bhavani Shankar, which certificate is best to do to go in DevOps? Yeah, so for DevOps, if you're talking about AWS, then I would do CSOPs, Admin Associate, and then DevOps Pro. But if you are not talking about specifically AWS, then you could do Jenkins certification and Terraform certification, right? So those are pretty valuable right now as well. And so the difference is this. If you do a Jenkins cert or Terraform cert, you will know about the Terraform and the Jenkins. One advantage of doing a cloud cert, whether you do from GCP, Azure, or AWS, is let's say you are doing CSOPs Administrator Associate. You are not just going to learn about the DevOps stuff only. It's going to teach you a little bit about the cloud concepts, right? Like how S3 works with DevOps, how EC2 works, right? That the basic cloud concept. So not only you learn about the DevOps, get the cert, but you also get a little bit of better knowledge about the cloud itself, right? So that's the advantage. Amit Parikh, I am selected to AWS Professional Services Group as Cloud Application Architects. Thanks for your videos which helped me. Oh man, congratulations! Ping me once you get in. Ping me inside in the Amazon Messenger. Okay, thanks for your videos. Okay, how much DevOps is expected from ProServe guy in application? Yeah, that depends on the project, Amit, but like you will get time to ramp up, so don't worry about it, right? So depends on some project where you are assigned, maybe have more DevOps, but you will have time and other people to teach you. So you should be fine. But it varies, project to project, it varies. Some project more DevOps heavy, some project more like a development heavy, some project more architecture heavy, it changes. Okay. Sanjeev Saha, another Saha in the house. All right. Most of the time, notice solutions architect requirement include most of the DevOps technologies. So is it must to have all the DevOps skill for solutions architect? Yeah, that's a great question actually. So when I started being a solutions architect, most of the conversations were around system design. But as DevOps got more popular in last couple years, people caught up on the system design stuff. Like when I started, like few years back, S3, RDS, EC2, they were still new. So if I knew all those stuff, most of the conversations were revolving around the core technologies. But now anyone knows kind of what is S3, what is EC2, what is RDS, right? So now most of the questions I get is around Kubernetes or serverless and DevOps because people are still catching up. And DevOps has like so many tools, it's almost impossible to catch up. But you are right, like now it is kind of a must to have at least knowledge in at least one DevOps tool. You should know infrastructure as code right now, either as a solutions architect or DevOps architect, and the DevOps patterns, like how do you deploy or how do you design a CI/CD pipeline for container or for serverless. But again, it changes project to project. Okay, Vabani, which course I should do to take to go? I am a system administrator, have 5 years experience. How long it will take to learn DevOps tool? Which I need to start first? So yeah, like take a look at the video. Okay, I'm gonna paste a link here. Okay, so follow this skill tree. Okay, this should help you. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me put it in here. Here we go. So take a look at that, Vabani. Thanks, Rajiv. Okay, thank you, Shapan. Shell Atomic. Should solutions architecture write hard logic code or what? Nope. You don't need to code hard logic, right? So this is the responsibility of a solutions architect. You go to a project and they say, hey, Shell Atomic, my project in on-prem is using this web server, this middleware, and this database. Or they will say, we want to do a project in the cloud and it should have these functionalities. Solutions architect's job is to come up with a design with pros and cons that they could migrate their application to, right? So on-prem, you give, oh, you are using this, use this on the cloud, these are the pros, these are the cons, and then you will dive deep. They will say, what about security, what about performance, what about cost, all that stuff. The maximum you have to do is do a proof of concept. Like, let's say you are suggesting them using Kubernetes, right? So they will say, but our team doesn't know anything about Kubernetes. Can you show us? So you do a small proof of concept. You Dockerize an application, create an ingress, and then show them how it works on AWS, right? So that's the thing. But you are not expected to write the code for that application, right? Okay. Shashidharan, can you please tell the steps for freshers to start with AWS and DevOps? Yes, Sashi. So I pasted in the chat, okay, that video. Take a look at that video where I go step by step. Moad Alolo, sorry if I butchered your name. Do you think a fresher should get in DevOps Cloud in 2021 or go to full stack? I like the operational things. So if you like the operational thing, I mean, you could do sysadmin, right? You can learn Linux, you can learn how to troubleshoot Linux and the stuff, and then go into DevOps. DevOps and cloud still valuable in 2021. Like, do this. Look at your own company. So I know you are a fresher, but ask your friends or seniors from your college who are in companies. Ask them what percentage of their project is already in the cloud. And the answer will be less than 30%. Like if they're a big enterprise, less than 30% of the projects are in cloud. And it took them what, like 7 to 8 years. So there is more to be done. So generally they move the easier projects first. So the cloud is here to stay. So don't think that, oh, it's 2021, am I too late? It's still starting. The big enterprises like still haven't moved even 10% of their projects to the cloud. So there's a lot of work to be done. Okay. All right, Vabani, so regarding the tools, same thing, follow the skill tree that I gave, right? Start with infrastructure as code, CloudFormation or Terraform, and then go to a DevOps tool like Jenkins or Cloud Pipeline. Okay. Shell Atomic, Raj, God bless. You're such a humble man, sharing valuable knowledge. Oh man, Shell, thank you so much. Because I went through such pain when moving from on-prem mainframe to cloud. I just want to make sure that other people have easier time. So yeah, I love it. I love teaching. I love sharing my knowledge so that other people can switch faster and easier than it took me. Bhavani Shankar, you have 3 courses. Which should I take in Udemy? So Bhavani, if you are starting scratch, take the CloudFormation one first, right? So because that's the basic of everything. Take the infrastructure as code, the CloudFormation one. Then if you are confident after that, then you can take the Kubernetes one. Look for the coupon code in the description, okay? Don't just buy full price, right? I should have discount coupon. If you cannot find the discount, ping me in like Instagram or something. I also have actually Instagram. I'm trying to do this Instagram thing. I'm gonna share real quick so that you guys can go follow me. Let's see if I have my Instagram up. Where is the Instagram? Okay, I'm gonna put it here. Okay, if you are not following me on Instagram, guys, I honestly don't know what is the end goal. I'm just saying because everyone is saying follow Instagram. So you can see not many people are following me, but this is new. So follow me in raj.agentofchange, okay? And you can message me here as well, and you can see pictures of my dogs, my studio, me weightlifting, putting stuff on fire in the drinks, and bunch of other stuff, right? So a little bit behind the scenes. So I'm gonna paste it in the chat. Where is my chat? Okay. Here we go. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Nilesh, please guide me on cloud engineering path. I am having 6 years experience in performance testing. So when you say performance testing, do you mean like you know how to run JUnit, load test of API? Like what kind of performance testing? Like in on-prem, in the cloud? Okay. While you answer that, I'm gonna go to the next question. Let me make me full screen again so I can look at both screens. Here we go, live streaming. Okay. Mansi, how to decide between DevOps or AWS Solutions Architect Engineer? Any advice? Currently appearing for Cloud Practitioner exam. I have IT background, still studying in college, need a roadmap. Man, you are ahead, Mansi. Great. Like, it's great that you are already doing practitioner. Um, so yeah, do the practitioner. If you enjoy doing more hands-on and building things, like you enjoy the operational sides of things a bit, then do DevOps, right? I don't recommend doing solutions architect fresh out of the college. The reason is this. So solutions architect means that you have to suggest system designs and you have to be like really good at presentation and stuff. So generally, if you have a little bit of experience, like if you became a DevOps engineer, you joined a company, you implemented the pipeline in their project, in the meantime you got little hands-on experience on the database, API, right, on the back end or the front end, then it is much easier to become a solutions architect, right? Because then you know how to handle real world database problems, how to design, like what optimization techniques do you need to do for databases, and based on that, based on the project, you can say, oh, for this project go NoSQL, for this project go SQL, right? So that helps you a lot. So, and also like if you do some hands-on stuff with DevOps, you have a solid body of work, right? You can show it, you can get like satisfaction of doing it. You can switch to solutions architecture anytime afterwards. That's my take and from my experience. Because if I think about it, when I passed from college, I did not have much real world IT experience, right? So even if I became a solutions architect from get-go, it will all be like paper knowledge. Like I would have no real world knowledge. I would only give system design based on whatever I read. But whatever you read is different than the real world projects, right? So I definitely would have experience first with DevOps and then switch to solutions architect. Bhavani Shankar, where can I learn Jenkins? Oh, there are a lot of YouTube videos, Bhavani. So check on YouTube. I don't have a full Jenkins course, right? Check on Udemy too. Maybe they have some good stuff on Udemy. But check on YouTube. There's a lot of Jenkins stuff. I started doing the Jenkins videos, but then I didn't get much time to finish it. Maybe I'll finish the Jenkins series when I get some time. Okay, Basudev, can I move from QA profile to DevOps? Yeah, man, you can move from QA profile to DevOps. So just follow the skill tree, right? So you are QA, so start studying infrastructure as code, right? And the one DevOps Jenkins tools. And again, I don't know if you joined afterwards. Try to switch within your company, like make a relationship with the projects which are doing DevOps in your company and try to get a job there. That's much easier than going outside. Okay, Shubham, please do more collabs with GK. Sure, man, I'll try. GK actually lives like 20 minutes from me. But yeah, he's a busy man too. Like he has a lot of stuff going on with US, India, all that stuff. So yeah, I will try to do more collab with him. Okay, I am from mechanical background. Sunil said, I am from mechanical background. Please suggest me, is it a good decision to switch to cloud DevOps? This is a great decision, Sunil. So because I come from electronics background, right? And I was in mainframe, and switching to cloud and DevOps was the best decision I ever took, right? This is the reason. So go to Glassdoor or wherever and look up the salary for mechanical engineers, and then look up the salary for cloud and DevOps. And I don't know if you're in India already, India or US or somewhere else, your name sounds in the end, right? So if you want to come to abroad, move around, multinational companies, cloud and DevOps and IT in general is the way to go. But if you really like mechanical engineering, I mean, then do mechanical engineering. So I actually started my career in electronics, right? So I'm like, okay, I studied electronics in college. I am gonna get a job at my stream because I'm a proud man. So I started working at an electronics company. But then all my friends started going to US, England, Europe, everywhere. And I'm like, man, I'm working so hard in this electronics company, but I don't see that kind of growth, like the salary increase or going to abroad. So I switched, and then I thank God I switched after a year. So that helped me a lot. So yeah, ask your friends, look at Glassdoor, and then decide. Okay, Nathaniel Garza. For my senior project, I have been using ECS. Would converting to EKS look better on resume? Not really, because when you do ECS, you still need to know container. You like it will be easier for you to learn Kubernetes. So I would say do ECS, but then study the EKS part as well. Um, because I'm just trying to think, ECS, the lowest denominator is the task, right? EKS is pod, ECS has service, similar to EKS, which is replica set. So there are a lot of similarities. So you don't need to change the project, but you should learn EKS and then put that in the resume. Yeah, that's what I would say. But actually, let me reframe. If you can switch it now, switch it. But if the project is already a lot on ECS and then there's a major effort switching to EKS, then it's not worth it. Because you can learn EKS, because you already have knowledge of ECS, you can learn EKS very easily. So learn EKS and put that in the resume as well with ECS. But that's great, you are doing ECS and EKS for your senior project. Nitesh, hi Raj, love all your videos. I'm planning to move to cloud and then later to DevOps. I'm a Linux admin, 9 years experience. Please suggest me which best courses out there and write AWS path. So Nitesh, this is exactly, so watch the video, okay? So I'm gonna paste it again. Take a look at the path. So I actually share all the path for DevOps. Take a look and then do the POCs. Watch this video and my latest video where I talk about what POCs you should do to get a DevOps interview or a cloud interview. So I'm gonna paste that video here as well. Give me a second. Okay. Or if someone else has the link, feel free to paste it. Okay, DevOps job.
Steve and Dave use eToro to trade.
Give me 1 second. Here we go. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a couple more questions, then I'm going to end because I do have to take my wife and kid out for shopping. Okay, hi Raj, love all your videos. Okay, Sunil. Okay, I already answered that. Shubham. Hi Raj, I see everyone talking about DevOps, automation, and cloud, but people forget about security. We should also focus on the security perspective of everything. That is correct. Like if you're working in the enterprise, you need to make your project secure. So there is also another big job which is happening, which is the cloud security architect or cloud security engineer. So you will work in a security team and you will evaluate the cloud services. Like your company will say, okay, I want to adopt EKS, okay? So your job will be to check the security of EKS, what security services you can integrate EKS with, and whether that satisfies your company's security standard. That's number one. Number two, you will also be in charge of governance. Like with cloud, the one problem is anyone can go spin up anything. So if within your company, someone spins up EC2 or S3 bucket and it kept it totally open to the world, your responsibility would be to write some sort of config scripts or some Lambda scripts to go check if something insecure resources has been provisioned, and then you shut it down and send email. So security is a big thing, and now even if you are from security background like CompTIA or something, it's super easy to switch to cloud security. But yeah, great point. Okay. Okay, Shubham, that's a great point actually. Thanks for bringing it up. Ibrahim, what is the coding level best for DevOps? Coding as in infrastructure as code, right? So for infrastructure as code, you should be really good for DevOps. But if you're talking about traditional coding like Python coding or Java coding, not much really, like just basics. Sometimes if you need to write a script for unit testing, that's all you need. If you are building just the pipeline. But infrastructure as code, you need to know in and out. Mansi, thank you so much. Your advice was really helpful. Thank you, Mansi. I'm glad it was helpful. Let me know how it goes, okay? If you have further questions, you know, like I try to answer those questions on the comments. Okay. All right, let's see. Shell, go east, go west. Raj is the best. Oh man, Shell, thank you so much. Vargav, I got my cloud practitioner certificate and going for solutions architect, but I'm finding it difficult to find a job right now with cloud practitioner. Am I doing something wrong? Yeah, it's difficult to get a solutions architect job with cloud practitioner, right? Like the reason I was saying solutions architect means you should have some real world experience on when to choose what, right? Because paper knowledge is not enough. So with just practitioner, it's very difficult to get a solutions architect. I would suggest you can switch to DevOps, hands-on DevOps engineer, a DevOps architect, or like Shubham said, security is a good. If you like security, you can go into security path. So yeah, it is tough. But get the solutions architect and check out my video, the same video I linked. I give you a path of how to become a solutions architect with the skills. Bhavani, which is the must learn AWS services should learn for DevOps? Must learn AWS services for DevOps. CloudFormation, you must know this. If you are doing in DevOps in AWS, code build. Code commit, you don't need to know. Code commit, mostly people, code easy to learn, and also a lot of the companies use GitHub, right? So CloudFormation, code build, code pipeline are the main core ones, and then you should know containers, because at the end of the day, you are creating a pipeline to deploy the projects, right? So most of the projects these days are going towards container, so learn EKS on AWS. Little plug, take a look at my DevOps on EKS course as well. I put it on the description of this video with a discount code. Don't pay full price in Udemy. Let me know if the discount code is expired. I'll create a new one. So actually, how would you tell me? You can put it on the comment or go to my Instagram and you can message me there. So I'm gonna show you my Instagram again for the folks who joined afterwards. Here we go. This is my Instagram, raj.agent.off.change. Again, honestly, I have no idea what happens. Like, people always say follow me on Instagram, but I don't know. I don't have an end game, but yeah, do it. Okay. Also, while you are at it, click that like button, smash it if that's something you are into. It's gonna take a second of your time. That actually helps YouTube algorithm. If you click like, it's gonna recommend to other viewers like you and helps this channel grow. Okay. Nitesh, thank you. Anas, Terraform or CDK? I would go with Terraform right now. Okay, let me just move this skill here. Okay. Yeah, Terraform, definitely Terraform. CDK is not super popular yet. Okay, and Terraform gives you the flexibility to work with any cloud. Even in AWS, a lot of companies use Terraform. Shubham, I am cloud security engineer. Nice, man. I worked with security engineers a lot when I was in Verizon in my last company because I was the solutions architect and I had to work with the security groups to make sure that the services are secure, the governance in place. So I like security. Nitesh, I am having experience in load testing, stress testing, capacity planning on cloud APM tools like AppDynamics. I am AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate. Should I go for architect or DevOps? Hmm. I would say go DevOps because seems like most of your experience is on load testing, stress testing. Doesn't seem like you have experience on like a three-tier architecture, database, APIs, all that stuff. So I would say start with DevOps because see DevOps, the thing is, it's like hands-on. Like architect, you come up with a design, right? So I'm looking at this side because I have my whiteboard with the design here, right? I'll show you guys and girls. So so the thing is, let's see, what am I saying? Okay, hopefully you guys can see the whiteboard. So that's where I practice all my design and everything. So the thing about DevOps is you actually create something, right? Something that runs, that executes, like it gives you real hands-on experience. And while you are doing DevOps, eventually you will learn Kubernetes, serverless, all that stuff, right? Because you'll be deploying into container ecosystem. So solutions architect is after you have all those knowledge, then you can put down system design and people will like listen to you in your project, right? If you have some real world experience. So that's my suggestion. Like go for DevOps because your background is only mostly on testing and not on the system design components. And then if you hate DevOps, then you can switch because you will pick up a lot of the stuff. Okay, I'll just a couple more questions, guys and girls. This is my first live, so I don't know how am I doing, if my voice is good or not. But thank you so much for all these questions. Really love it. Okay. Okay, Nathaniel, can I host Fargate and EC2 within same EKS cluster? Yeah, you can. For Fargate, you just say the Fargate profile and anything deployed with that profile becomes a Fargate, the pod. Anything without that profile will run on EC2. Check out my EKS course. Okay, so this is covered pretty well in my EKS course. But if you already have something, no worries, right? I don't want to plug my own stuff. Okay. Arjun Man, why is kindness is the backbone of other AWS services? I don't know, man. Why? I mean, okay. Hi Raj, your courses on AWS are excellent. Can you do videos on DevSecOps and AWS security related best practices? Sure, I will do some videos. Let me note that down so that I don't forget. DevSecOps video. I do have a couple of videos though. Take a look, search in my channel about DevOps security. I have one on the container side, but I'll try to do more. Okay. Lazola Didiza said you are doing great, Raj. Thank you so much. Because see, with the live is I cannot hear myself and I cannot see myself, right? Because with the YouTube videos, I record myself and then I see how I'm looking, how I'm sounding. I edit, but live, everything is live. Okay. Ratandeep Saha, another Saha in the house. So my name is Rajdeep Saha. So Ratandeep, another Saha. I assume you are from West Bengal as well, another Bengali. Okay. Madrag, would you make a tutorial on Cognito plus API Gateway with explanation of OAuth and OpenID? So I had a video on that. So take a look, but it's not a hands-on video, but it shows the architecture, like how Cognito and API Gateway integrates. But I'll try to do a hands-on demo if that's what you are asking. Arivumani, which one do you prefer if we have some good ideas and from an AWS infrastructure background as a career? Getting a good job, DevOps AWS architect in a top 5 IT company, or starting our own startup? Man, this is a difficult question. It's based on you, Arivumani, because I actually have a friend who is going to IT in a very prestigious college in US. So for those of you who are in United States, they will know it's the University of Pennsylvania. It's like an Ivy League college, like IIT, like comparable to IITs in India in computer science. But he does not want to work for any big companies, right? He already has a startup. That startup did not work out, and now he's creating another startup. So that's up to you. If you want to be your own boss, so that's the way. But the way I see it, Aribumani, is it's a two-way door. So what's a two-way door? It means even if you create a startup and let's say it did not work out, you can always go back and take a job at the top 5 IT companies, right? Because we see a lot of resumes with the startup experience, and that's great because startups teaches you how to move fast, how to work with ambiguous requirements, and then take it and run it, right? And again, if you start with the IT company, you hate it, you go start up your startup, right? And then you can always switch back and forth. So that's what we call by two-way door, right? So two-way door, it means that you can always back out, right? Some things you cannot back out is like if you jump from an airplane, right? You cannot back out. But starting a startup and going back to IT, so you can decide. But anyway, I actually have an interview coming with this guy who is going to this IIT level engineering college for computer science, but he started his own startup. He failed, and then he started his another startup on blockchain and NFT. So I'm gonna share that interview soon. I recorded it with him, but I have to edit it. Okay, last couple questions. Okay, is it worth learning? Nathaniel said, is it worth learning Jenkins if I already know other CI/CD tools? Bamboo, GitHub Actions. Not really. Depends on the job. Like if you already know CI/CD tools and you are switching to a DevOps role in your company, then you don't need to know anything else. But if you're applying to a job where they say Jenkins is the must, then you need to know. But the good thing is a lot of the Bamboo GitHub actions are applicable to Jenkins as well and vice versa, right? So depending on that. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. So this is how I actually prepare for interviews, okay? So this is what I prepared for my cloud interviews. This is how I prepared for my AWS interviews. Same, there is no secret to it, okay? So if I go to LinkedIn, I go to jobs, right? And then let's say DevOps engineer, okay? Or DevOps architect, okay? And then I will search, let's say I'm in New York City, so I will search New York. Okay, so let's find a decent company, okay? I mean, I'm not saying anything against any companies, but AWS I already know, so I want to show something else. Man, a lot of AWS hiring. Okay, let's see how about this. Okay, so here, see the top skills, Terraform, EKS. So this job requires Jenkins, networking, etc. So what I will do is like I will keep on searching like security, and then I'll write those down. Like I will copy these core responsibilities and requirements in like a spreadsheet or like a notepad, and then I'll keep on exploring those, and then I'll take a look and I will see what is the most common one, right? That's how I prepare. That's how I prepared for AWS as well. So if I click a senior DevOps architect in AWS, right? So I will copy all this for multiple jobs with the similar title, and then I will look what I need to study. See, for AWS, we are smart. See, we are like, okay, if you know Jenkins, that's cool. If you know Bamboo, that's cool. TeamCity, Code Deploy, right? So because we know that if you know one, you can easily learn another one. That's why I always say you don't need to know all the tools. It's impossible. Okay. So that's how I prepare for interviews. I suggest you do the same. You know what position you want to go for, search it in LinkedIn jobs, go through the qualifications, and then try preparing. The ones that are appearing more and more in almost every position, you need to know those. All right, I'll take one more question, and then I gotta go. This is Saturday here in the US, Saturday morning still. I don't want to make my wife and kid mad. Okay. Manan, okay. Manan Shakla, good resume for LinkedIn. So Manan, I actually have a good video on LinkedIn. Okay, so let me see if I can find it. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. Okay, let's see your channel. Okay, here, LinkedIn. See, I got good feedback on this video, so you should watch this. How to make a great LinkedIn profile. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna paste this here. All right, let me paste in the live. Where's the live thing? Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look and let me know, okay? Okay, last comment. Nathaniel, thanks for all your videos. I've already watched a majority of them already. I hope to get DevOps role when graduating, and your videos are very helpful. Amazing, Nathaniel. I am pretty confident you will, because you are studying in the college and you are already getting prepared. Like this is great. Okay. All right, guys and girls, that's the video. If you found this video helpful, like hopefully you got some questions answered, click that like button, smash it. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Okay, I mean, we're still a small channel trying to grow. And yeah, let me know if you like this live session, and then I'll try to do more. Maybe I'll get better at it as well. But yeah, apologies if something wasn't right technically, because I don't know how I'm sounding, how am I looking. But anyway, thank you again for everyone who tuned in. Have a great weekend, and let's rock and let's learn Cloud and DevOps. All right, guys and girls, bye.